Greetings, family. Dr. Timothy Farmer here. I am on the campus of Tuskegee University, here at the University Chapel, here to do a technology assessment to help the chapel and the dean to prepare for some technology upgrades and looking to do some great things with lighting, sound, and video. So let's go inside and let's see what we're going to do in the chapel. Greetings, family. Dr. Timothy Farmer here. I am on the campus of Tuskegee University here in Tuskegee, Alabama, and I am here in this wonderful chapel with none other than Dean Cecil Duffie, who is doing great work here in the chapel and on the campus with the students and the staff. Dr. Duffie, how are you, sir?
Doing well. So glad to have you here and welcome you to our blessed space, and
Yes,
glad
sir.
that you were able to come over.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having us today. So tell us about your trajectory here. I know that you're relatively new here to the chapel and to the university, and you're doing wonderful things thus far. Tell us about your journey to this space.
Yes, so today is day 99
Wow.
here at the Tuskegee University Chapel, and it's been a great joy and a blessing. I want to give, of course, kudos to our president, Dr. Mark Anthony Brown, who's the 10th president and the first alum to serve here at the university. And we were excited. The trajectory was interesting, coming from Howard as assistant dean, Wiley as the
Wow.
dean, and now here at Tuskegee. It's been a great joy. And these 99 days have been filled with the welcome, hospitality fit for royalty. They have rolled out the red carpet in terms of getting me here, and I've been just really blessed to include this as part of my ministry journey.
And they're lucky to have you. I know that you're doing great work, and great work is yet to come.
Thank you. Thank you.
In these 99 days,
Yeah.
I know that you've had the opportunity to think about a lot,
Yeah.
your vision, your goals for the chapel from a worship perspective, from a technology perspective. So can you kind of tell us about what you've envisioned thus far as it relates to the chapel in its future?
So in addition to giving kudos to Dr. Brown, Dr. Gregory Gray served here as a dean for almost 30 years.
Wow.
And has done an incredible job of leaving this legacy of worship, as well as a commitment to justice and faith here on campus. And I think really allowing students to be a part of what they want to experience from a worship perspective has been a priority. When I came in, students, of course, were coming to chapel, but with the new renovations of the chapel, we had an LED screen that was added and trying to get us toward that 21st century model of ministry. So including praise and worship as a part of our liturgy, as well as finding out ways to connect with students wherever they are. So first of all, in terms of technology, we started a social media campaign.
Okay.
Really proud of my students, a lot of first year students who are our content creators. They went from 0 followers to 1,000 in just 2 months. They have been...
And this is specifically for the chapel?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Specifically for the chapel. Of course, on TikTok, again, as well as on Instagram. And they have been excited about what does it mean to share what they've learned, what's happening here in the chapel with the broader community. I think that the model of ministry that's most an example, if you will, is Howard University with Dean Richardson, who understands that the chapel is not just for students, not just for faculty and staff, but really the broader community. And we have to be able to reach the broader community by way of social media, website, technology. So excited for where we're going and moving things forward in that regard.
And that's a wonderful thing to ensure that the technology and the worship reaches beyond just the typical audiences that normally the chapel would serve.
Absolutely.
And so with that in mind and how technology plays a role in that, I know that you all have already started on several projects. I know you have even like your screen and you've added some additional elements. Tell us about what your technology plan is for the chapel.
Sure. So I think of this term and you being trained in this understand participatory worship. And so I think that what we've seen previously in chapel is almost like, I don't want to quite call it entertainment, but people sort of just coming in seated and observing, whether it's our choir, a person who's speaking from the podium, etc. But I think in this generation, students want to be a part of what's happening. So it's important to have those lyrics up, for songs, important for the screen to capture responsive reading, or to be able to read along with the speaker if they're coming from particular texts, or knowing that they have points that they want to be able to emphasize, and can write these things down from the screen. So that was something that was key as we started in this new academic year, ensuring that everything that was a part of the worship was taking place, not just physically in terms of a bulletin, but also what's happening on the screen. To be able to look up and sing the hymns, to know what's happening, the next part of worship, etc. So that was something that was very important.
Because interestingly, many of our students don't know hymns like how we were taught hymns or were made to know hymns. And having the lyrics as a part of the worship experience is a part of the liturgy, and it helps them to know that which they might not have learned before coming to the chapel.
Absolutely. And I think we want to be in an environment where there is synergy and connection from pulpit to congregation, from congregation to pulpit. And I think once they understand and see what's happening in the service, then they can be a part of what's happening, and really become involved. I think that what's been most impressive are the students in terms of their feedback. So after service saying, hey, Dean, I like this point that you mentioned here. And I think they can connect with that because they see it, again, broadcast on the screen, but also they receive a recap of it from social media. So knowing that it's continuously sort of ingrained, driven home, and it's not just sort of a one-stop shop where they get it one time, but they're, constantly surrounded by what's taking place.
And you're looking to incorporate some cameras, add some additional lighting to enhance the worship experience as well. I know with cameras and online viewership, the quality of the view is important.
Absolutely.
And the vantage point and the angles are important. I know that you value that, and you're looking to expand that which you've already done to incorporate high quality cameras, robotic cameras, and things of that nature as well.
Sure. So we are attempting to increase the visibility of what takes place here within the chapel to the broader community. But we also know folks may want to watch from home. We know that after COVID, that idea of people being able to worship from a safe environment is important to them, as well as connect with folks who are not even in town. So our president, Dr. Brown, is excited to be able to feature the Golden Voices Concert Choir. And, we have a lot of alumni who have been in the choir, who want to know what's happening with the choir, who want to sing the songs of the choir with the choir, and being able to advertise what it means to, share as a community is important. And I think President Brown is excited about the opportunity to say, hey, there are great things that are happening here on campus, and we want to expose that to the wider community.
And ensure that the elements of the chapel tell the story that this is still a church service. So for the people who would be watching online, they would experience church just like they would experience the church down the street or in the neighborhood, because the worship experience gives that same feel and tone, just like if they were at the church in their community.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us about your ultimate long range plan for the chapel and the vision that you have. In addition to technology, just student engagement. One of the benefits of you having students, that also gives you volunteers to help support your technology. But tell us about what the long range plan, just overall, you would have as the dean.
Sure. So a couple of things are of mine. We've come to the chapel with this mantra of curiosity, community, and connection. And so we want students to be curious, to ask tough questions. What does it mean to believe? What does it mean not to believe? What does it mean to be interfaith? What does it mean to, have a faith journey that's been important to me, or one that I'm just growing? So I think curiosity is important here, but also this idea of connection and community. So these students who are coming to us, who are first years, second years, juniors, and seniors, are those who spent time in quarantine in high school. And so they're still learning about interpersonal connection, interpersonal conversation. How do I tell my roommate, that they may not be as clean as as I want them to be, or something like that? And so we're trying to help students to identify best ways for community engagement. And over and over and over, students will let us know, I want to build community. I want to be able to have my people on campus. And so that's important. By way of connection, it's not just about, I think, chapel being from the perspective of students, but being from the perspective of all of our community members. So faculty, staff, again, those who are in the wider Tuskegee area. We're trying to connect with folks at a very deep level. Another adage from the chapel at Howard is deeper in faith, wider in community. And so we want students to go deep intrinsically as to what they believe and how they can best walk out their faith journey, but we also want them to be wide in terms of their reach. So that's one area that's really important. When I think a lot about the consideration for moving the chapel forward, it's this idea that chapel should be a learning laboratory. So you mentioned our students. So we have about 6 work study students who are here on campus, and they're doing things like bulletin preparation. They're helping us to organize things in the office. And one of their responsibilities has also been helping with the technology on Sunday mornings. So we want them to take the skills that they've been able to observe here on campus, take it out to the world. They're going to leave here within 4 or 5 years, and we want them to use these specific tools to be great community members even outside of this place. So that's extremely important. The last thing I'll share beyond just curiosity, community connection, student development is also this idea of student-led worship. So we started a Tuesday night prayer night, which is almost like a contemporary service for our students. They are leading worship. They are playing the piano. They're singing. They're preaching. They're, again, talking about social media and leading what marketing and communication looks like from that perspective. So I bring that up because we want students to realize that this is their space and that the chapel's not a museum. It's not a monument. It's a living space where they can come alive and do the work. And our prayer is that their faith as well as their own journeys would grow because of their stop by this place.
And so with that spirit for student engagement, tell us about how the students will engage technologically. I know you mentioned social media, but even as you do your technology upgrade, what are some of the roles that they would serve to make sure, because those who would see this video will have youth in their church.
Absolutely.
They'll have youth in their community. They may not have the capacity to have a audiovisual team or staff, but will have students. So how were you planning to use students as a part of the worship experience?
That's a great question. Great question. So we're looking at how can we place students in all facets of worship? And worship is also technology. So are students going to be able to operate robotic cameras? Absolutely. Are students going to be able to play sound engineer? Absolutely. And it's important that we train them, but also that they have skills. I've said this before, that we have to learn to ask what they're capable of. And even give them the space to say, okay, I tried this at my home church, or I did this at my own synagogue or my own mosque. And I want to be able to bring those skills here to the chapel. And so as it relates to students' availability, as well as what we want them to do is be a part of every facet of worship, that they're, behind the scenes, in front of the camera, et cetera, and really drive what can take place here on campus.
Indeed. And with that being said, I know here in the chapel, you've done quite a few upgrades, even within the 99 days and even from the summer, and you have some others that are forthcoming. So for the pastor, the chapel dean who might see this broadcast, who may be in the same place you were when you came along, who know that there needs to be some upgrades, needs to be some changes, there needs to be technology integrated. What words of encouragement would you offer to those who would be in that place?
Well, I hate to go straight biblical on you.
Go ahead.
But I am so inspired by what happened with Daniel and the other Hebrew boys, now men, in this particular story, where, Daniel is called to interpret a dream, and Daniel is trying to figure out what to do. He goes home and asks his comrades to pray for him, which to me is indication that you don't have to do this work by yourself.
Amen.
Now, you may be the individual, I may be the dean, and may be, called upon by the president to lead this effort to say, hey, Dean, I'm looking for upgrades in the chapel. Well, Dean Duffie knows nothing about how to live stream. Dean Duffie knows nothing about how to, TikTok, if you will. But Dean Duffie does understand the importance of community and how can we do this work in collaboration and with people who are knowledgeable, which is why it was so important for me to give you a call, for you to come out to survey, evaluate what we can do and our capacity, and also realize that this work can be done by professionals, those who are skilled, those who know, sort of what they're doing, as well as to provide that type of impact as well as instruction. So my encouragement to any pastor, any chaplain, any dean who's in this work is you're not doing it by yourself. There are folks who want to help you, folks who are well able and well skilled to be able to provide assistance. And don't sell your students short. Don't
good.
sell your young adults short.
That's
They're not just there to be on social media,
Right.
but there are so many skills that they have and that they can receive through training that really make the difference.
Yeah, it's all about the opportunity and giving them the space in order to use that opportunity. Thank you so much, Dr. Duffie, for being here with us today. And we look forward to more opportunities to serve. And we're looking forward to this project that's forthcoming to do some technology upgrades here in the chapel.
Excellent. Well, Dr. Farmer, I think if I hear correctly, there's some people behind me who want to show some.
Oh, wow. Oh. Oh, yeah, so kind.
We're so grateful for you, and we know that you traveled all the way from Atlanta on your birthday.
Yes.
So we are grateful for your contributions, and we want you to have a very happy birthday. And
thank you so much.
Excited for all the work that's ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you all today.
Excellent.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Wow, that's a surprise.
Gotta make the man start.
It'll happen. Thank you. I appreciate it.